Good morning to you. I'm Jeff Slakey. Have some great guests in studio as we focus on Shelton Thursdays at this time, brought to you by Our Community Credit Union. City Manager Ryan Wheaton and new Shelton Communications Officer Dylan Barrett on the air with me. Good morning to you both.
Morning, Jeff. How are you?
Thanks for coming on, and nice to meet you. Dylan, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Nice to meet you as well. Well, I'm a new Shelton resident.
Yeah?
Came from Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been here for about 3 weeks now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the Shelton Communications Officer, Ryan, is what is that job going to entail?
That job for us initially, so Dylan is working through the end of the year to help us set up a program.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we were needing to do is create a point of contact for external communication. So ingoing and outgoing communication, press releases are now being handled by our communication officer. In addition, we have a burgeoning social media presence on both Twitter and Facebook, and our communication officer will handle that to get some of the quick information out.
It's difficult to get all that information out quickly and accurately to folks on social media, and I know that when I'm tagging the city or different parts of the city, finding the right ones is a bit of a challenge. It's either somebody is, they've made a check-in page or something at the Civic Center, and then that somehow gets kind of associated with the city. So that's a tough thing, but an easy way to get the information out to the citizens.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We're working with different departments within the city just to make those communication channels open up, just establish the communication channels basically. So
will each department have its own social media presence, or will it all kind of filter through a city overall?
We're gonna start simple, and then we may expand in the future,
from
but
there.
we'll start with just talking to people.
Okay. I like it. You were talking to me off air about a new hire you've made.
We just announced today that we've done a small reorg within a couple departments. So our Community Economic Development Department is now Community Development. We are admitting, I think, what old folks have known for a long time, which is economic development for the city hasn't really been around, and we are focusing that department on the three smaller groups that are joining. So community development is now planning, in addition to facilities, as well as Parks and Rec. And our longtime Parks and Rec director, Mark Ziegler, has accepted an offer to become the new community development director. So he will lead those teams. And we're pretty excited because Mark's from Shelton.
Yeah.
He's been at the city for a long time. And I believed before I took this job that if you go around to the parks that we have in the city, you can take those parks and put them in any city in America, and people will be proud to have them.
Yeah.
And we're excited to see that attention and that care for the community expand throughout the other departments.
Wow.
So we are making that move, and then we're hoping to fund an economic development analyst for the city that will come on board in 2017.
What would that do?
That person will help us with, one, creating an economic plan for the city so that we have a way to actually go out and recruit businesses to come on board. And then in addition to that, they would actually do the recruiting.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're in the news this week talking a little bit about some things that you mentioned to the City Commission on Monday regarding the Roundhouse that is currently on the old Simpson lot where the SPI is. What can you tell me about this story that's progressing here?
I can tell you that we're looking for some direction from the Commission.
Okay.
So we brought forward the options as we see them. The original option was a very nice offer from Simpson, which was to give us the Roundhouse and the rail within the city limits. We looked at the potential that we may want one or the other. We may want nothing, but we wanted to give the Commission the full options for what are out there. And we laid some of those out. You guys have done a good job of detailing those in a story that I heard this morning. What it comes down to for us, there is a fiscal cost to each option. One of the things that was not discussed in detail at Monday's meeting were some of the other hurdles that are in the way. We have issues that we need to get past if we're going to pursue with one of these options in terms of dealing with the live railroad that's down there now, which is owned by the Navy. That's a fairly strong consideration. We also have a business that is getting up and running that's essentially on that site. The Roundhouse parcel is not very big. It's essentially the Roundhouse plus a few feet around it, and there is a very busy Sierra Pacific Industries operation that's going on. They actually brought in a fabrication shop right next door to the Roundhouse, which was not part of the original plan, but they are bringing in dozens of jobs into that fabrication shop. So for us, it is a realization that there are nice things to do and there are necessary things to do, and now is a time that we're trying to focus on necessary things. So this is a fantastic opportunity that may or may not be coming in at the right time. Our commission will decide that in a couple weeks, but as we look forward to that decision, we have to look at the cost. Minimum cost for us to take on the Roundhouse is nearly $500,000.
Wow.
And that would be to mothball it and let it sit and figure out what we're going to do with it in the long term. There are some environmental concerns that if we take on the Roundhouse, the offer that's been presented is that we indemnify Simpson for any future concerns or liability that comes up with the Roundhouse. And the city is not full of trained experts. We're not exactly sure what we would do with that other than what was in the feasibility study, which gets us into an even higher cost where we are trying to figure our way out of a lot of debt. And so I think the entire commission understands that we can't take this on financially ourselves, but at this point we haven't had any strong financial backing come forward. And the other issue that we have to get past if we pursue this is what is the public perception with a train running through downtown Shelton again.
Sure.
That hasn't been there for a few years, and we haven't engaged in that conversation yet because we haven't pursued that option.
Wow. A lot of things, excuse me, a lot of things to think about in the next upcoming weeks here.
There are, and the one option that is also out there doesn't involve a train or the Roundhouse, and that is the potential that you could have a trail that goes from Neyland Park out to the edge of town, and potentially in the future could extend past the city limits if the county and Green Diamond were interested in doing that.
Wow, very nice. Well, we'll leave it there, and we'll get you guys back in to talk a little bit more as future developments come about. It's 8:50 now, talking with Dylan Barrett, the Shelton Communications Officer, and Ryan Wheaton, the Shelton City Manager, during this Focus on Shelton, sponsored by our Community Credit Union. Thanks, Ryan, and nice to meet you, Dylan.
Nice to meet you as well.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of your
You
day.
too. Have a great day.